Welcome everybody again back. This exploration of one of the very profound texts by Namkhai Norbu's uh, Upadesha text with very advices, instructions for practitioners who had the luck to get in touch with this great um, teachings. And if you say teachings, it sounds a little bit theoretical, but what it really is, it's a message from one being to another being, like we saw in the pointing out also, and the many pointing outs in this group that there is a connection between beings, and in this connection, it's possible really to get this profound truth from one being to another being. And this is also happening with the Dzogchen teachings. There are beings who saw something beyond the conditional reality and spread the word. Okay, this is the last sentences of the chapter regarding the practice of the night. The practice in night invites yogis to encompass all experiences, also of the night, into their practice. And we were at the point where the yogi awakens in the morning from the sleep and just connects again to this awareness which we are connecting. Here, this empty, lucid space in which his awakening in the morning is also taking place. Okay, last time we had the three, how you say, peak experiences about non-thought, about clarity, and about bliss. And there was the invitation to don't lose your contact with the awareness, with the big expanse during these experiences. Okay, now I read. We are here. Since we have come to understand that all phenomena are in themselves actually the real condition of existence, a primal awareness which is in no way mistaken becomes supremely manifest. And since a primal awareness of quantity, which knows each thing in its individuality, becomes clearly manifest in its entirety, the inherent nature of the three dimensions of our existence becomes supremely manifest. It's kind of what we already started here today, exploring that there are so many different things. There's a multitude of things arising in our experience. And for example, if you would go to certain shops and we would turn around each item in the shop, and we would discover that they're all made in China. And we have checked almost all of them, we can assume that the orders also made in China. And this could happen also for a yogi. If we continue to realize that the phenomena arising in our experience are made from our mind, then it becomes obvious that the whole quantity of phenomena are produced by our mind. And since this is the last sentence of the practice of the night, maybe I could share a little what is helping me to do the practice of the night. We have, as a human being and as the other beings, we have this different visions or different kinds of seeing the world with daytime and nighttime. Our eyes and the whole optical apparatus and the brain has different ways of processing day and night, or the abundance of light. When then we mostly see with the small point in the middle of our, I don't know how it's called in English, but in the eyes where the nerves are, where it's innerved. But yeah, there is a small spot, and when you have daylight vision, this small spot is the most active one, and that's why in the daytime vision our eyes tend to go in all directions, because this point in the middle scans the whole area. It's completely not. It's not the pupils. It's beyond the pupils where the nerves are. And the important thing what I want to get is where during the nighttime, when the abundance of light is not there. Also not the cornea. I'm sorry. I don't know how this is in English. Beyond the iris, where the optic nerve is. Thank you, Doge. Yes, it's the Augenhintergrund in Germany. Okay, but it's not so important, the terms. The important observation I had is then, it's obvious or common knowledge that during the nighttime vision, there is not the middle of this back of the eye working, but the whole other area. And the middle of the eye, the back of the eye, is during the night is blind. So if you really focus on something during the night, you don't get so much information about it. But if you relax, then is the whole other nerves working during the night, and you get a very panoramic vision. And it takes some time to adjust for the eye to switch from daytime to nighttime vision. And the interesting discovery for me was that this nighttime vision is very spacious. It has this very spacious feeling. Instead, when you focus during daytime, you get a real kind of two-dimensional feeling of the world. And if you scan fast, then there's this illusion of three-dimensional, or it feels like an illusion. But with nighttime vision, you have the spacious feeling. The space, you can feel the space. And very interesting, when there is not so much light, it feels like your mind keeps guessing what is happening in this space. And it keeps guessing by pulsating, by just there's little flickering in the space. And this flickering seems to adjust to the objects you might encounter, for example, when you walk in the dark. I know that some people can very much easy walk in the dark. They have this very the space has some clear map of their surroundings. And I found it's very beneficial for my practice, because what's happening is that, for example, I have problems with sleeping, so I can lay in my bed and practice. And when I don't focus on the middle of my panorama and just let the periphery shine, then I see this, my mind working really. There is a spacious feeling, and there is this continuous flickering of little dots or bits, or if one if they're more stabilized, then they really look like the patterns one can encounter during Togel practice. And I'm trying, it's not so easy, but I'm trying to also do this now during the day, to let the periphery of my visual field be more prominent, and not just focus my attention on the one point in the middle. And it helps me a lot for my practice. Also, maybe doing walking, or also doing eating. There is this more spacious feeling, and like I said also before the recording, that there are these patterns of the mind arising in the periphery, and since I already know these patterns, I can really see that this visual field is made by the mind. There's really, like you have a watermark in some pictures, or in your money. You can see, okay, you can recognize it and say it's the real deal with the watermark. And I have the same experience with this nighttime vision, when when the mind keeps guessing and keeps trying to come up with something useful, but you can really see it has difficult to make some really coherent image, and the image does some flaws. And it's kind of like if one practiced dream yoga or tries to do lucid dreaming and starts to recognize the patterns arising on your dreams, how your dreams are made. There is a texture to it. There is some flaws to it, some coherence flaws, for example, in a story, and you can start to recognize it. Yeah, and I experienced with this zooming out from this one-pointed daytime vision to the more panoramic nighttime vision. It's very beneficial for my practice. And I never read it as like in the, or never heard it about it, but I can imagine that it's normal yogi stuff, especially if you practice in the night. And maybe you also can try it one time, because from a normal tendency, also during the night, I was used to practice like with daytime vision, should focus on the point in the middle. And instead now I'm choosing the whole periphery. Okay, I think that's for the text exploration for today. And maybe someone has a similar experience. I would like to hear, because oh, Nime is already saying, yeah, this is my practice all day. It feels normal now. Very nice. Okay, Dawai is going. Have a nice day, Dawai. Yeah, has anyone similar experiences? Ronnie, please.
Yeah, first, I've always had very good night vision. I've had very good night vision since I was a little boy, in the sense that I would get, you go and do that because it's dark outside, and you're less likely to fall over. But doing this exercises that I've been doing, particularly with Togyal, it seems to me that my good night vision is like what you're talking about. It's getting reordered, and it's not almost. It seems to me like it's the clear light that is allowing me to see more. My dog likes to go down the country trails at night. Night starts at 3 o'clock here, so it's this time of year. And when I relax and I kind of, it's halfway between Trekcho and Togyal, and I'm walking the dog. When it's in the darkest avenues, or whatever you call them, with the trees all over the top and down next to the river, there is just this general phosphorescence that I would call it that's up here. Is like when you were describing the kind of how things arrange themselves in the dark differently. That's something that definitely I've experienced, and it turns out I've been experiencing it all my life. It's now since joining you guys, I'm seeing what it is, and or at least I think it is. But yeah, so much of that. I had matches up with what's going on with me, and you never slip, you never fall, you see everything. It's part, to me, it's part of that. It's also part of that walking practice, which I think is important, getting that sense of awareness and spaciousness when you're moving, rather than just when you're sitting, and being able to do it, of course, without like falling and breaking your arm or your hip or whatever. So yeah, a lot of that, especially your description of that kind of grainy. It's almost like night vision, and when I talk to people about it, especially like my ex-wife, my sister, they just can't see in the dark. If it's even half an hour before sunset, they start walking about, bumping into things. So, but I definitely think the clear light has something to do with. I think if you found that, I'd like to get lots of people with good night vision, and then get a kind of quality. What is it that you're seeing? How is it you're seeing it? I think you would find a lot of people, it's the awareness, that's helping them tune into the dark.
Oh, thank you. Very interesting to hear. Yeah. You had this all your life, like myself also, like seeing during the night and being able to relax your eyes in the night so you can see more. But with this practice, it's amazing because you just don't see it, but you know what it is. It's your clear light awareness in space. And then there is this feeling you can really relax into it, your whole being. There is no difference between the objects and the flickering. It's all encompassing. Yeah. Is that?
Hello. Okay, I am audible. I think the blue thing came. Yesterday I had a lot of kind of strange experiences during the meditation, uh, and today too. Some felt much longer than normal. Normally, the 10 minutes kind of flies by. This time it felt like 30 minutes, and that was great, I think. But one experience that I had relating to this vision type of thing is that uh, since it felt so long, the meditation, I was able to kind of relax a little further than I normally do. And I relaxed my eyes a lot, which kind of had my vision be half colorful, half kind of like gray greenish. And having that, having that relaxation of the vision and that kind of like decreasing of creation, there was also this experience of the kind of waning away of object permanence and so forth. Like I felt when people were coming from and out of my vision, when they looked at me, they were with a face, but when they turned back, that was kind of no more, and that each person kind of um, became a new one as they continued in their paths. That it was not a single continuum, but like infinite people at one place, infinite people at one position of movement. I experienced this a lot, but I feel it's a little bit dangerous to kind of go after these experiences. Before I met this group, that was kind of my main point to destroy things like object permanence and uh, making myself into this body and so forth. And so after a while of practicing in such a manner, I began hallucinating random things, and it got into my daily life, and it was very not so good. But when I came to this group, that waned away. And, was apparent that it was not kind of like disillusionment with various things, but rather direct seeing through them in seeing awareness. That was the kind of much more prominent point, and that was where liberation was at. Thank you.
No, it was a great sharing. Thank you very much. And I'm happy that you have now a more sane um, possibility to relate to these experiences, and really could relate. Oh, now Chico is writing. He can relate to it, and yeah, one form of difference also I get from this more one-pointed daytime, very focused and or spacious nighttime peripheral vision. At one point, you get objects, very clear cut objects, and when you get objects, the interesting thing is you get the subject too at the same moment. When you have a clear object, the very clear subject is arising too. And with this panoramic vision, you get, like you also described, the objectness of the objects. They're not this stable, clear cut, and they're more fussy and more playful, and there is more room for your, yet you're not unified, and there's more room for your fantasy to play with it, which is not the goal. But if you know what is happening, it could be very interesting. Yeah, in my experience, if you have more not so clear objects, if they are more vague, also the sense of subject is also at the same time a more vague, which can be very helpful for this practice. Okay, is there only some last sharing, last question for today's session? That's crazy talk, yeah. Without awareness practice, it would be mad. Yes, mad talk. But that's the interesting thing, that we can really go beyond the limits when one would stop because one has the fear of getting crazy and mad. Just with awareness, you stay healthy, um, and you can go beyond the limits that your own mind is proposing not to cross. And then you need a sangha to share it, because otherwise most people will not relate to it. Okay, since there are not other sharings, close now the session with a dedication. The session like this are regarded very beneficial. There's a lot of merit in it for all of us. And we share this merit and give it to all the beings who are suffering in this moment with a moment of silence. Okay, have a good day, everyone. See you next session.
Thank you, Rolpa, and thank you for pointing out.
Thank
Very
you.
much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tim. After the pointing out, it's good to join the next sessions. Yeah, come
Will do.
regularly, and because you will encounter experiences and moments that these yogis here know how to relate it, huh? That you can deepen your understanding of this awareness. Okay, have a nice day. Yeah, bye.
Yeah.